This is the Surly Ice Cream Truck 2020 model year, and here's a first look at it. So just some background, I've been fat biking for about 3 years. I own a 2014 Surly Pugsley, and got it mainly for snow biking, and it ended up being tons of fun, and I ended up enjoying it so much I ride it year round amongst other bikes. Started looking for something else, something new. Wanted to do another fat bike, and this brought me to this bike here. Started looking for something else a little more versatile. I also wanted to do something with bigger tires. My Pugs has 4-inch tires on it. This bike is spec'd with 4.8-inch tires on it. And in researching a number of fat bikes, but I centered on this bike because it is a trail-oriented bike. In 2018, Surly did kind of a shift in all their fat bikes and how they approach them. They call it Omniterra. That's the philosophy that they implemented, which means many earths, which I guess is just their way of saying that bikes that can do pretty much everything. So they kind of resorted out and reshuffled their lineup. In 2018, they did this bike as well. And basically they geared it much more towards a trail bike, trail use. They did several things. They slackened out the head angle and the seat angle. They lengthened the top tube, and they also shortened the chainstay slightly. So it definitely has trail bike geometry. Fortunately, what they also did was they maintained all the brazons and all the capability it has as a touring bike as well. So it's highly versatile, which was one of the things that attracted me to it, is that it can really do both. Now, because I have the Pugsley, that'll kind of be centered on more the adventure bike packing type thing. This will definitely be, for starters at least, trail oriented. I will use it obviously for snow biking, fat biking, but I'll be riding this year round. In 2018, when they redesigned the bike, they simplified the dropouts. They also went to a threaded bottom bracket, and in conjunction with retuning the seat tube angle, adding that bend, they did that to maintain tire clearance, but they also made it so it's you can route a dropper seat post. You can fit a dropper seat post, and it has a routing port where you can run the cable out and then run it up to your seat post, which is a cool feature and definitely a must on any trail bike. The other thing they did in conjunction with lengthening the top tube, they also went to wider handlebars. I'm not going to go through all the specs on the Geo and everything. It's much easier to see that on their website, but the handlebars are definitely wide, definitely trail oriented. The bike definitely has a trail feel, and even if you just look at it, just looking at the angles of the bike, it definitely has a trail geometry. When you combine that with the fat tires, you kind of get that ability to really bomb down anything. The bike also has race face, crankset, and bottom bracket. And one of the cool things that I'm really excited about is they went to a Shimano 1x12. It's a 1051 rear cassette, and super excited about that. Not only do you not have to deal with the additional weight of shifting up front and all of that, I found the 1x systems currently out to be more reliable and just great for all-around riding, and simplifies everything, takes a little weight off the bike. Speaking of weight, this bike, it's not light. It is a steel frame bike. It uses their 4130 chromoly steel frame, which I think are great for a couple reasons. One, I like the look of a steel frame bike. Two, they ride really smooth. Steel really kind of soaks up a lot of the vibration and whatnot. And the other thing is they're super durable, like highly durable. And if you were bike packing this bike somewhere and you did, crack the frame somehow, you can pretty much find somebody to weld it anywhere in the world. So to me, that's one of the things that makes a steel frame attractive. Downside though is, you do have a weight penalty compared to other bikes that are alloy and or certainly carbon framed. But again, for what I want to use this bike for, I'm happy to pay the weight penalty. This bike, as it sits right now, without pedals and without the water bottle holder, comes in right around 34 pounds. I do have it set up tubeless, which again was one of the advantages and one of the things that drew me to the bike. My Pugs does have tubes in it. It has just the tires are heavier. It has tubes in it. The wheel set's heavier, and you can really feel the weight. This bike, even though the tires are bigger, it's set up tubeless, and makes a huge difference. So this has their current wheels, the My Other Brother Daryl wheel set, and it's tubeless capable, and this bike is set up tubeless. Surely actually sells a kit to make that transition, and the tires are certainly obviously tubeless capable as well. As I mentioned, the tires on this bike are 4.8 inches. They have their current Bud and Lou setup, and the Bud is actually a front specific tire based on the tread, and so is the Lou a rear specific tire. Again, my Pugs has the same tires front and back, so this is another departure, and I'm really excited to get this out there in the snow and on the trails in the dirt and see how they perform, being more current design for the type of terrain this bike is designed for. So this is just a quick look at it. Bike's brand new. I haven't even had it out yet. I just brought it home yesterday. Got it built up, set up tubeless. Real excited for this bike. Went for it for its versatility. One of the other things you can do is I'm going to run it pretty much stock for the time being, but you can actually fit aftermarket front suspension fork on it, which is a great feature, up to 140 millimeter travel, which may be something down the road I'll consider. I imagine by the time it's fall right now in Colorado, and I imagine by the spring when I'm getting more into the dirt and the trail season, I will fit a dropper at that point in time. For now, I'm just going to run it bone stock, get a feel for the bike, see what it can do. Hopefully I can get it into some dirt and some trails here and there this winter. But mainly I'm going to be riding it a lot in the snow and seeing what it can do. But real attracted to it because of its versatility. A trail bike. Just for reference, I do have a full suspension bike. I do have a hardtail 29er with 120 millimeter front fork, so it's got a little bit of trail capability as well. Both those bikes are great, but I'm hoping that this bike will perform and be a bike, a year-round bike that I can basically take anywhere I want. It's living in Colorado especially, you can run into a wide range of terrain, and I'm hoping that this bike can handle it. Another versatility factor that's highly attractive is it has 26-inch wheels on it, 4.8 tires right now, but you can run up to a 5.1-inch tire, front and back. There is enough clearance. You would have to slide, use the dropouts to adjust for that a little bit. You can also run a 27.5-inch wheel with up to a 4.5-inch tire and a 29-inch wheel with up to a 3.5-inch tire. So there are options out there for wheel variations. I think maybe going to 27.5 in the future might be fun for more dirt trail riding, make it a little more nimble. But for now, like I said, I'm just going to run it stock and enjoy it and see how it performs. One more thing just regarding the brakes, it has Tektro brakes on it. I have Tektro brakes on one of my other bikes, and I've never had any complaints with them. It has a 180 millimeter rotor in front and 150 in the back. Should have plenty of stopping power for this bike, especially since it's tubeless and a little less rotational weight in the tires than otherwise might be. So real excited for it. I'm going to be coming out with a bunch of new content surrounding this bike. Next video will probably be, before I get it out and start riding it, I am going to get some frame protection on it. So I will do an install of that so you all can see that. I think that's a must. And then I'll probably do a comparison, some first ride impressions and whatnot, do a comparison with the Pugsley. And then once I really rack up some miles on it, I will certainly be doing a more thorough review and getting into all the pros and cons that this bike has. Hopefully they're mostly pros. Thanks for watching. If you're interested in seeing more on this bike and more on fat biking and cycling in general, among other topics, please feel free to subscribe, and we'll be bringing a lot more videos soon. And this is just the first of many.